Welcome to Preservice Chat. I am here with the infamous Rick Boomers. Good to see you again. We've missed you on staff, obviously, and it's hard to believe you were saying it's actually just been a year now that you've been at your new job, started your new chapter. So it's not so new anymore, but tell us about your life. What have you been up to in this last year or so?
I guess that's it. You know, Kim, a lot of people come and ask me all the time how retirement's going, and I'm going like, no, didn't happen. I actually started the new job the day after I finished at Saanich. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's been a year and a week, I think, already. And, you know, life carries on, and I've learned some really valuable lessons while I was out when I needed to.
Yeah.
Had some time to just kind of recharge my batteries, which is what I needed to do too.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. Well, that's great. And you've still been involved with SBC. You've been doing microchurch, I believe, and you're still, of course, involved with Living Edge. How's that been going?
Living Edge is good. You know, it's not changing, and if anything else, the numbers are getting greater. You know, we all know what's going on in the world right now. We all know what's happening with the economy and the price of gas, the price of groceries, and everything else. And more and more people are falling to that. And, you know, we've talked lots about the working poor in Victoria.
Yeah.
So it's not just those, we don't get homeless people. We get maybe one or two. We get the working poor who come. Totally. We get the seniors who are on fixed incomes. And those numbers are continuing to increase. And with the Prosser Avenue building, every time I drive by it, I'm amazed. There's a whole new floor set up, or you know, something going on so quickly. There's going to be residents in that building by Christmas.
Totally.
And that's another 55 units of people who could be coming to our market. And right now, we're probably seeing 55 households every week come on average.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, there's a low-income housing complex being built right by our Centennial Park campus. And so you're so right, like with the way that all of the things, prices just keep rising, and more people are needing to seek out accessible, affordable produce and food. And so that's really cool, and it's really cool to just see the way that Living Edge has really made a difference out on the peninsula there, and how this new complex coming is going to continue that work, I'm sure. And so you specifically have done a lot of work with some of the people that we get produce from, specifically some farmers out on the peninsula. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that and about some of the connections and opportunities that are available there?
Yeah, we've talked lots, Kim, about, you know, just the blessings that we've had received from our community, about those who are supporting us. And we've talked about Cisco Foods for quite a bit, you know, Gatton Farm is a local guy who decided 20 years ago he was going to take his 5 acres and turn it into vegetable gardens.
Yeah. And
he is not a roadside farm seller. He doesn't produce anything that he gives to any of the markets or anything, like grocery stores or anything.
Right.
He literally has donated every vegetable he produces for the last 20 years.
Wow. We
caught on with him about 4 years ago, and ever since then, we've been sending some volunteers out to kind of do that. But it's grown and grown and grown. And, you know, we've talked about Jason, and we've talked about Gatton Farm. But what people may not realize is that Gatton Farm isn't just producing for the market in Central Saanich.
Right.
They're giving food to Rainbow Kitchens. They're giving food to Mustard Seed, who feeds multiple organizations. I think there's probably 12 or 15 on their weekly list who receive food from them, and they're food banks just like we are. And so it's an amazing opportunity for us only to get fresh produce. Like when you come to the market on a Thursday, you can actually pick up a head of lettuce that still has dirt and root attached to it because it hasn't been cleaned properly. I mean, it's fresher than you can actually buy in the grocery store. And when you're paying $3.99 for, you know, a head of romaine lettuce, it's pretty cool that those who are in need can get healthy and fresh produce.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes we think of things like Living Edge Market being like, oh, they're just getting the leftover, almost expired, almost bad food that like nobody wanted. And yet it's like, sometimes that is some of the produce that we're getting, but lots of it is from these farms and it's fresher than what we're getting as we go to our Save On Foods and our Thrifties and stuff. They're getting it straight out of the ground, which is really cool. And I'm so glad that Gatton Farms has just had that desire to serve its community and that they're specifically looking to give this produce to people who are in need. That's really a really cool story, and it's awesome that we're able to partner with them. So what kinds of things do you do when you go out specifically to the farms and volunteer? What kind of things, if someone maybe would want to also do that, what kinds of things would they expect to do?
Well, that's one of the things that, as you know, when I was on staff and when COVID first hit, I spent a lot of my time out there, not only developing that relationship with Jason, but also it was a real blessing to me to be out. I'm not a guy that's ever played in the dirt. I don't like to get dirty. Steve will tell you that. But going out there, cultivating the soil, putting the seeds in, doing the weeding, setting up all the water lines and all that kind of stuff, and then going back and watching it produce and then crop it off and actually see who's getting those vegetables. It was so satisfying. There was labor involved, but it was so satisfying. But like those gardens are going to produce lettuce and zucchini and multiple kinds of squash and potatoes and a whole bunch of other things. That beans, like we have bean trellises that are probably like, there's probably 500 yards of bean trellises, and
wow.
they're forever growing. You can just keep on finding them forever. I think in one day I cropped off probably about 60 pounds of beans. So always looking for volunteers to come out. And the cool thing about Jason is there's no pressure.
Nice.
It's a Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. There's teams out there, or just individuals coming out and helping as they want to the level they want to come. It's not hard labor.
Yeah.
It's not hard labor to stand on the fence and pick beans.
Yeah. How many beans do you get to snack on while you pick them? That would be my struggle.
That's okay with the beans. Not so great with the zucchini. But Jason, actually, that's one thing. He really encourages the volunteers to take some things home with them.
Oh, nice.
So,
there you go.
Yeah, you get a little fruit of your labor.
Yeah.
And that's another great thing about Jason is that he's just such a nice guy, and he just really cares about his community. But awesome. he loves the church community too. He loves the church volunteers coming out and helping. And so there are other churches that are involved that have come out and support also. But there's a real need this year. I think with COVID, everybody got a little freaked out about going anywhere. Yep. That's the beauty of the farm. It's outdoor.
Yeah.
And you can be as social or as anti-social as you want to, and you can work in the bean patch all by yourself, or you can pick zucchinis with others and have conversation, and you can do it at your own speed.
Yeah,
and
sounds
that's
great.
The beauty of it.
Sounds like a great thing for like maybe a micro church to be like, hey, let's all go out there and do that together. Or even just families saying, hey, let's as a family go out and do this. Really cool opportunity. Or even single people, if you're just like, hey, I got some spare time, I could go pick some beans, go pick some squashes. Yeah. That's cool.
Summer's here.
Yes.
Kids are out of school.
Yeah.
So, it is family friendly.
Nice.
But I would say, if your child is going to be more of a hindrance than a helper, then you probably don't want to bring them.
Then make it a date night. Yeah. All right. That's awesome. Well, okay, one last thing before we go. Who can they talk to if they are interested in coming out and helping out at the farm?
What I'd love to do is have people actually direct their inquiries to Jason directly.
Cool.
So what we'll do is we'll give you Jason's email address and ask you to just call Jason directly. He'll tell you a little about what's going on and maybe what's happened that day, and you can just kind of feel him out and let him know if it's something you want to do or not. I believe you will be encouraged by Jason. You'll be encouraged by what we're doing. And again, it's not just Sandwich Baptist is benefiting from this.
Yeah.
There are organizations and people, there are thousands of people literally who benefit from this every day.
So awesome.
Because like 7 days a week, they're cropping off product to give to somebody.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it's so great to hear from you. So great to get a little update on Living Edge Markets and to hear about the farms. if you're interested and involved, hit up that email address or get in contact with us at office@sanishbaptist.org and we can funnel you along. But hope that this gives you maybe some ideas for something to get involved with this summer.
Yeah,
So
and
much.
the farm's great, but I also recommend come out on a Thursday night and check it out the market, because it's one of the main ministries that Sandwich Baptist is up to right now. And I think for people to understand, a lot from the Centennial Park campus are involved. It would be great to see some Wilkinson people come out, even to do a drive-by, have a look at it and see what's happening and see if it's something they want to maybe put their names on a volunteer list to help out every now and then.
Totally. You got it. Well, you heard it from Rick. Come check it out. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us for Pre-Service Chat. We'll see you next time.